Every time the man came back from seeing his mistress and her son, he would always bring cake and gifts to apologize to his wife. But this time, no matter how much he called out, he got no response from her at all. Staring at the empty house and the neatly placed divorce papers on the table, he finally realized he wasn't just a failed husband, he was an unworthy father too. He was actually the CEO of a large corporation, but had kept his true identity hidden all along. His wife, thinking he worked hard for a living, took on cleaning jobs and collected recyclables to raise their daughter on her own. Thankfully, their daughter was sensible and sweet, always by her mother's side, trying to ease her burden. But one day, while they were out collecting trash, they happened to run into the man on the street. The girl recognized him instantly and ran toward him excitedly, but just before she reached him, a little boy rushed past her, shouting "Daddy," and jumped into the man's arms. The girl froze where she stood. The mistress walked by smugly, smiling as she joined the man and the boy, looking just like a warm, happy family. The woman felt a stabbing pain in her chest, but still followed them quietly, unwilling to give up. Then, something the waiter said completely shattered her final hope. It was only then she realized she had been living in a web of lies spun by this man all these years. She had scrimped and saved, worked tirelessly to hold their family together, and now she felt like a complete fool. Back home, she silently packed her bags, ready to leave. But their daughter didn't want to give up. Her and her father's birthday was just a few days away. She wanted to give him one last chance. Not wanting to break her daughter's heart, the woman reluctantly agreed to stay until the birthday. Just then, the man came home, carrying a bag of cold leftovers, telling them to heat it up and eat. The girl noticed a toy ball in his bag, and happily thought it was her birthday gift. But the man snatched it away angrily, scolding her for touching his stuff. A second later, the mistress called, and he picked up the phone and walked out without even looking back. Before he left, the girl stopped him, asking if he could take her to her school field trip the next day. He casually replied, "Got it," but that was enough to make the girl beam with joy. She truly believed he had agreed. The next morning, the woman and her daughter arrived early at the school. The mother stepped aside to make a call and quit her job. But in that short moment, the mistress and her son approached the girl, dumping her things on the ground, mocking her for not having a father, and saying she didn't deserve to sit in the good spot. The commotion drew the attention of other kids, who began to join in, mocking her for being a child nobody wanted. The girl tried to explain, but no one believed her. Just then, the man arrived. The girl immediately ran toward him, but he coldly pushed her away, then turned and walked toward the mistress and her son. His next words shattered her completely. "Lisa, today I'm here as David's dad. You should call me uncle, so people don't get the wrong idea." The girl turned to look for her mom, but the boy grabbed her, refusing to let her go. As they struggled, her backpack was torn open and a wad of cash spilled out. The boy immediately accused her of stealing class funds, and without asking questions, the man demanded she apologize. Just then, the mother returned. The girl quickly explained that she had saved that money from collecting trash. She wanted to buy her father a birthday gift. The man was stunned, but failed to realize he had already lost his daughter's final bit of trust. Back at home, the woman picked up her suitcase, took her daughter's hand, and walked out of that so-called home for good. Meanwhile, the man was still celebrating with his mistress and her son, completely unaware. It wasn't until late that night that he returned, holding a gift, intending to apologize to his daughter. But no matter how many times he called out, there was no sign of the mother or daughter. He could only send a message saying that if they came back, he'd be willing to forgive them. But